Welcome, everyone. Give us a few minutes, let some people join in. We are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. Hi, guys. Put a comment down below where you guys are joining from. Let's see. Laurence will be joining here shortly. Welcome in, guys. Nice. Denmark, Beverly Hills. Let's go, Eddie. Berlin, Bangladesh, Vancouver, Canada, Washington. One of those two. Laurence will be joining here soon. I think I might have given him the wrong link. San Diego, nice. Me too. Malta, India. Ian Heathcote went to Emily Carr. What was the agenda? We got Laurence Thomas joining here super shortly. Philippines, Phoenix, nice. Laurence has generated 8 figures plus from cold email, books 150 calls per month using cold email. So pretty impressive stuff. Bangalore, India, Indiana. Cool, guys. We're just waiting for my dude Laurence to pop on. Phoenix, India. Cool, guys. Drop in the comments what type of business you run. That way when Laurence joins, we have some context, who we're talking to, all that sort of stuff. And I'm also curious. What do we got here? There he is, Laurence. We got some people. I think I might have sent the wrong link, so that's 100% my fault, but we made it, man. I'm just getting people hyped up in the comments. We got people from India, Malta, San Diego, Washington State, Philippines, Phoenix, Bangladesh, Berlin, Beverly Hills, Denmark, all over, Laurence, dude, just for you. Cybersecurity firm, quality management, web dev, come on. Cool, guys. Well, I'm going to put a comment. Guys, this is specifically for you guys, okay? So this is nothing more than for you guys to get value from Laurence. Laurence has been super graceful to give us an hour of his time to share some sauce on cold email. I just put in the chat that if you guys drop questions in here, that's how we'll get it answered. So we'll spend probably the first 20 minutes or so just going back and forth, giving some context on Laurence. And then once we get to that, then we're going to go through the questions. We're going to go through all of the comments on the questions. To hype Laurence up a little bit, he's been able to generate 8 figures plus for his clients from cold email. 8 figures, that's a lot of freaking money. I'm sure everybody here wants to be able to do that. And books 150 calls per month from cold email alone. Pretty impressive. So he's going to be a wealth of knowledge. So as we're talking, drop the questions and I'm going to scroll through them here in a little bit. But Laurence, welcome. How are we doing, man?
Good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited to dive in.
Pleasure to be here with you, my friend. Thanks for making time. Thanks for being willing to share some of the knowledge. Why don't you just give a quick intro for people who have no idea who you are, no idea what you're about, maybe a quick intro of what you do, where you're from, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm Laurence, and I've been in the online agency space for probably about 6 years now, and been doing cold email for about 5 of those years. Started off running a couple of different agencies, found my way into cold email, and yeah, been here ever since.
Nice. When you say a couple different agencies, tell us more about that.
Yeah, sure. So started off local lead gen agency, doing it kind of after my 9 to 5, and charging like $300 per month to run people's Facebook ads, using Facebook lead forms, sending them loads of leads. Didn't really realize whether a lead could be good or could be bad. I thought a lead was just a lead. And then slowly started to see all these people charging like thousands and thousands of dollars like per month to their clients. And I was thinking, I'm definitely not going to be able to charge $3K a month for these people. I think I must need to have to do e-com and like go after these e-com people and charge a percentage of ad spend or of ROAS or of something. So I made that switch, but couldn't get any clients. I was using Facebook ads to get clients previously, and I was running Facebook ads to try and get e-com clients to run their paid ads for them. Couldn't do it. And then my girlfriend at the time, my now wife, said, "You should do cold email. We've just hired some graphic design agency, and they sent us a cold email, and that's how we started working with them." I reluctantly gave it a go, sent some emails out to some e-commerce brands, and sure enough, got some replies, got on a few calls, signed a few clients, and then I was fell in love with cold email, and started to fall out of love with the e-commerce side. Was helping a few different agencies on the side, just like a few friends, to do cold email, and then started to transition into running cold email full time. So that's kind of my journey, how I got here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of get in that analysis of, okay, I could run ads, I could do SEO, I could do cold email, I could do outbound, I could do LinkedIn, blah, 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 blah. I guess from your point of view, after going through a few different client acquisition models, why have you stuck with cold email for the last 5-6 years? Why have you been so consistent with this? What is it about cold email for people maybe that are thinking about using it or thinking about diving into it that kept you there?
Yeah, I think cold email is one of the most the safest way to get started, for sure. So I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were saying, I don't know whether to do cold email, I don't know whether to do paid ads. And my advice to that person was, unless you can get cold email to work, you're never going to get paid ads to work, because it's really all about the messaging. And it's a very expensive way to figure out whether or not your offer and your messaging works when you use paid ads. And it's a lot more cost effective to do it through cold email. So that's why I kind of started. And then the reason I stayed is just because it works. It's the economics make sense. So why wouldn't you carry on doing something? That's not to say that everything else isn't good, but if something's producing you a positive return, keep that tap running.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I think it's just the ability to get in owner's inbox or decision maker's inbox is pretty, if you could do that with ads, it'd be pretty expensive ads. And the fact that the ROAS on cold email essentially could be pretty substantial.
Yeah, for sure.
Cost of getting it going is not that much.
Yeah, we run ads as well, not loads, but the anxiety that I get from running ads and knowing that I'm spending a bunch of money, and it's you check and you don't see calls coming in, and it's just good old trusty cold email, basically just keeps on ticking along, doesn't cost a fortune, and helps me sleep better at night compared to running ads, that's for sure.
Yeah, facts. Guys, keep popping questions in the chat for Laurence as we're asking questions for him. Cool, man. So now what are we doing? What's kind of the biz now? Who are we helping? and then we'll get into a little bit more of like the tactical stuff.
Yeah. So for me now, it's really focused on the software side of things. When we were running the cold email agency, we were sending so many people, so many of our clients to different software providers, primarily, excuse me, primarily for like AI video creation. And we just thought, why don't we try and create this ourselves? So our main focus right now is that ties in very nicely with Instantly. So that's the main goal. We use cold email to sell a cold email software. We've used cold email to sell cold email services. So that's that's the main focus for us right now.
Yeah. And then who are you doing the cold email services for? Is it like a specific niche? Is it e-com people?
Primarily marketing agencies of all different shapes, sizes, niches, services, but probably like paid ads, paid advertising agencies. They're like the bread and butter, web development, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Dope. Okay. So then if I'm watching this and I'm like maybe trying to get some customers on cold email, haven't really tried it before. Maybe I'm a marketing company. I did see some marketing agencies in here, but basically B2B business, like what would you say to me in order to like start to drum up business with cold email? How do I start? Like, what should I be focusing on? All that sort of stuff. Is it like the list? Is it the offer? What are you telling me?
Sure. So I think the main thing main place where people shoot themselves in the foot is they don't understand the maths behind client acquisition properly. So I'll go into like the slightly nitty gritty part of cold email, but before we get there, unless you understand this fundamental part, you're not going to succeed with cold email. And this is what we see time and time again, is people come into cold email with the wrong expectations. So let's say you are a marketing agency. Let's say you're charging, say, $3K per month, and a client sticks around for 12 months. Like the lifetime value of a client's like 36K. You close at 25%. So every sales call is worth like $750. If you're running paid ads, you're going to spend like 750, maybe all the way up to like 3, 4, 5K to figure out whether or not paid ads is going to work for you. When it comes to cold email, what we see time and time again is people will send like 1,000 emails. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't, they're like, oh, cold email doesn't work. And they're not treating cold email with the same like level of intensity or like respect as somebody would in a different marketing channel. So they basically try something once, like without a significant data size, it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't really work. So if you're thinking about starting to do cold email for the first time, what I would say is like understand the value of whatever desired call to action you're trying to generate, whether it's a booked call, and then think like, how much am I willing to invest into cold email to achieve that? And so like, let's just use arbitrary numbers. Let's say that a sales call is worth $500. Like you should really be willing to spend like $1,500 to figure out how to get cold email to work so that you can book in a sales call. And if you book in a sales call with $1,500, you've gone over budget, but now you've found like a whole bunch of data that can teach you how to get sales calls cheaper further down the line with cold email. So you've got to go into it with your eyes open, basically, and understand that you've got to do a lot of testing. You've got to try a whole bunch of different stuff, different offers, different lists, different strategies, different scripts. So go in prepared to do that hard work. And when you do that hard work, then cold email becomes easy. And that's what we never really see. The people that succeed with cold email, they do all the hard stuff behind the scenes that nobody really sees. They do all the testing that they never really talk about, all the failed campaigns. And then other people see the success on the YouTube videos, for example, and they're like, oh, cold email, they go do it themselves and it doesn't really work. It's because that's like the tip of the iceberg, you know, that's the swan sat on the top of the lake, and they're not seeing what's happening underneath.
Totally. 100%. They're not seeing the failed campaigns or the hours of testing or building lists or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we break down maybe a couple of these pillars? So like from a list building perspective, if I'm a marketing agency coming to you, or if I'm a company coming to you, what's kind of like your thought process? What's your mindset on the list, or maybe even like before the list, like the strategy of building the lists? Like, how are we going about that? Is it, I'm going to get as many people as possible, I'm going to be really strategic with it? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so it all depends on like the size of the market. So if the market's huge, then maybe we can afford to be a little bit more like spray and pray. If the market's smaller, then we maybe need to be a little bit more strategic with who we target, what we say, what we do, and we don't play quite as much of a volume game as we ordinarily would. So the first thing to say is like everything's different. Every industry, every business is going to be different. There is no one size fits all for pretty much any pillar within cold email. But there is one overriding rule that I follow for every single pillar, and it is testing. So from like years doing cold email, you get a pretty good gut feeling of what is going to work and what isn't going to work, but we still test. So like before we do any tests, and this might sound really basic, but this fundamental stuff that people get wrong, and therefore cold email becomes difficult. Before we source any leads, we create a lead source tracking sheet where we will look and be like, okay, we're going to get leads from this place, this place, this place, and this place. And then we're going to track which lead source brings us the best results. And then we're going to double down on what we see works best. So creating a lead source tracking sheet is like the first thing that you should be doing. And then you want to try and do, just like with, like, say for example, if you're like A/B testing a website, you'd have one that's maybe looks completely different to the other, so you can like see the polarity between the two. Same is true with lead sourcing for the first time. You might want to get some like dirty, nasty, cheap leads from somewhere that's like scrape them for $2 for 1,000 leads, and then you might want to go down the like clay route or the phantom buster route and scrape some highly personalized leads that are like high intent, and you want to test them and want to be looking at what's the best, not just the best results, like what maybe booked in the most calls, but what's booked you the most calls, like what's the cost per call from a lead sourcing perspective. Because you might figure out that the nasty leads don't convert as well, but from a cost per call perspective or a cost per whatever it is that you're trying to do, it makes way more financial sense. So testing is the typical like answer to almost everything, really.
Yeah, I like the testing of like the lead sources and then just doubling down on that specific source. That's solid.
Yeah.
Okay, so once we have the leads, what about messaging? Like, what's kind of the theory on, okay, what do I send this person? Am I just like selling myself? Is it one-liner emails? Am I throwing in a personalized video? Like, am I, using Clay to come up with these crazy personalized lines? Like, what are you seeing work best for companies in the space?
So what we're doing for ourselves, for our clients, is we're using our own internal software to create personalized first emails. So the personalization is just going to be like about a bunch of stuff that AI has found about that prospect online. So, but it's going to tie in, and this is where like the key success comes from. It's going to tie into the core offer of the business, of what you're selling. So you want to make sure that you're basically able to sell something that has as little risk associated to it as possible. You basically just like take a, everybody's read Hormozzi's book by now, just like $100 million offer. The problem with those is they can sometimes start to, like everybody's using them. So it kind of, like skepticism is really high. So for everything that we do, we also pair it with a unique mechanism. So it just kind of adds that little bit of intrigue around our email. So we send personalized email with a solid offer that includes a unique mechanism. Sometimes we send it in the first email, sometimes we send it in the second email, but we send a personalized video as well, that is hosted on like a personalized landing page, and then we track what happens on that landing page. So if a prospect watches, say, 50% of the video, they get a lead score. If they watch 100% of the video, they'll get a higher lead score than the other person. And then we'll basically know who we should be following up with based on the prospect's interaction, even if they don't book in a call. And that's what we're doing. So we're like trying to get people to book in a call by default. But then we're doing outbound to people that have shown high levels of intent but haven't booked in a call themselves to follow up with them. And we build that all inside instantly through our software. And so it happens pretty seamlessly. Like if somebody watches 100% of the video, they'll go into a different, email sequence. Somebody from the team will try and reach out, all that good stuff.
Nice. Solid. So sell something with as little risk as possible, plus the unique mechanism, and then the personalized video, and then you're tracking the personalized video, and then judging based off of that intent, you're following up as needed. So I guess on like something with as little risk as possible plus unique mechanism, is there some like examples of that? Is it like, hey, we'll give you a website audit using our 3-point audit framework, or we're going to give you like a paid ads audit using our paid ads accelerator, or like what's like some examples?
Yeah, like that's kind of spot on, really. So it's either something like highly valuable that they would expect to pay for, that they would get it for free. It would be something that is like you can still sell. Sorry, I'm frozen. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yep, you're just frozen. I think you'll come back.
I've frozen my thumb up, so it could be worse. Yeah, so like something that has a high perceived value, or it can still be like your direct service, but it just has to be like the risk has to be taken off the table for the prospect. Because another thing that I see quite a lot is people forget where a prospect positions you in their mind from a cold email. It's a relatively low trust platform. The barrier to entry to sending cold emails, thanks to Instantly, is like, thank God, really low now, and we can all send out loads of emails. So trust is low. So you basically have to either do a really good job at building trust, or you have to remove the necessity for trust. They're really like the two things. Either build it or remove the necessity for it. It's much easier to remove the necessity for it. And it's even better if you can do both at the same time.
Yeah, interesting. So would like building trust be case studies and proof, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So it can be case studies, it can be proof, it can be like, so for example, we have like a pre-call workflow. So when somebody is going to call with us, like we're sending them to a 40-minute video of me just breaking down everything in excruciating detail for purpose of them like having a deeper understanding of what we do and like how we can help and why they should work with us, but also just like familiarity. If they can hear me speak for 40 minutes, when they come onto a sales call, there's going to be a lot more like affinity to us as a company. So yeah, we do that. We're trying to maybe follow up and include some YouTube videos in signatures, things like that.
Yeah.
Just try to get them into our world, basically.
Yeah. Solid.
Yeah.
Love that. And then one last question before we get to some of these questions. And guys, if you guys are watching, drop the questions in the comments. We can see them. We're going to try to get through as many as possible. So we want to answer your specific questions. This is for you guys. This is meant to add value to you guys. So tell me more about the personalized video through the software you built called Chirpy. Like, what are we saying in that? And does that have any issues with like deliverability and stuff like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, you send a link in any email, it's going to cause some friction. What you've got to do, again, is test like methodically and understand whether or not that friction is worth it. We've tested it methodically across, countless campaigns, and the answer for us is yes, as long as you do the things that you should be doing around like deliverability, checking the health of domains and email addresses, all that good stuff. But in terms of what you're saying, you're really elaborating on the offer that you've pitched in the text of the email. So like if it's an audit for conversion rate optimization, for example, you would go in and you would explain that, this is something that is that you're basically trying to increase the level of perceived value, trying to make the prospect feel like they are lucky for receiving this free audit, explain the value that it produces, maybe explain some case studies inside that video that, people that received your cold email, they went through, they got that audit, and then we ended up helping them do X, Y, and Z, or, maybe we didn't even help them after we gave them the free audit, but they implemented it themselves, their own internal team, and they got great results. So case studies, just going into more detail, selling the next step in the funnel. And again, like we talk about other mistakes that people make with cold email, is they're trying to sell the end service from the very beginning, and really you're just trying to sell the next step in the funnel. So you're trying to sell that sales call, you're trying to sell that free audit. So just focus on what the objective of that one part of the funnel is, and try and get it to convert to the next part, and just focus on that.
Love it. Okay, let's get to some questions, Laurence. How's that?
Sure.
Let's go with this one. AI with Tim. I'm currently developing a cold email personalization workflow, and in the end works beautifully, but I don't really know what kind of personalization works best for what opener in general. Any advice on things that you've seen? So probably we all see the typical, hey, love what you're doing at company name, like that kind of stuff. What sort of personalized lines are you seeing work best? Just from the content.
Yeah, so what we're seeing work quite well. So, first of all, ideally, you don't really want like a personalized opener. You can have a personalized opener and it will work better than a non-personalized opener, but you really want a personalized email, because a personalized opener is now like, it triggers the prospect's mind, this is a cold email. Like, you want to basically be that Trojan horse that comes into an inbox and it doesn't feel like a cold email. It feels like there's almost like that slight they're confused about the email that you've sent, and when you're slightly confused, you want to like close that loop in your brain, so you read through all of it. So I would recommend that you try and do like full personalization throughout the entire email, as opposed to just a first line. That being said, something that I love using cold emails that worked on me. So like for example, somebody looked at one of the testimonials on our website and they were like, I saw you worked with such and such. And I just saw that person's name. I was like, I know that person. I recognize that name. And it's like, I saw the great results that you got working with blah, 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 insert client name. I'd love to tee you up with more clients just like him. Are you getting on a call? I can show you how we can put you in touch with other web development agencies, whatever industry that was in. So that works well. But you really, the whole thing of personalization is just letting somebody know that you've taken the time, and it's all about the prompt as well. So like one of the emails that we sent out recently, because when you're sending out personalized emails, you obviously don't check all of them because you're sending so many. But I checked one the other day and it was like some guy had started an e-commerce store to basically carry on his granddad's legacy, and he'd written that in his about page, and the email was like, I'm sure your granddad would be proud. And I was like, what on earth is the AI written here? And then I went onto the website and realized it was actually legit.
Nice.
But yeah, you just want to like find stuff that is genuinely personal and personalized, as opposed to saw that LinkedIn article, like I thought it was wicked. It's like,
just I love that. Make it more like the whole email versus just expecting a personalized line that's gonna sell the service or get them to like perk their ears up.
Yeah. I hope that answers the question. It's not like bounced around a little bit there, but
no, I think that's good. I think that's good. Less personalized line, more personalized email. Let me answer this one real quick. The Creative Beacon. Yo, man, check out Instantly Accelerator inside of Instantly, and check out all the YouTube videos on Instantly. We have a step-by-step walkthrough, so it'll for sure help you out, no doubt. It's literally step-by-step. I film the videos, so I can endorse them for sure. Okay, Sharia. I provide done for you email services for clients. All tools and software costs are covered by me. Handle everything, email list, copywriting, reply management for sending to 5,000 people. What should my starting price be? I'm getting replies, but I'm not able to convert them into sales. How should I structure my pricing package? Curious your thoughts on that.
So here's my thought on covering all software costs. I think it's a bad idea. I've coached many people that have done this and they are covering everything, and it's bad for you and it's bad for the client. And what is good for the client should be good for you as well. So the client needs some skin in the game. So my first port of call would be client has to pay for all tools and all costs associated with running cold email, unless you're like including that in some sort of plan. But generally what I see that where people do cover everything, they cover it because more from a place of uncertainty rather than like confidence. It's that it's easier to sign clients if I pay for everything. And while that's true, you're just going to trap yourself working with the wrong type of clients, and it's just going to be difficult to generate any real results without the client's buy-in, because nobody knows your client's business better than your client does, and you're going to need their help to understand their business, their customers. And if there's no skin in the game, then it's very difficult to do that. So I would recommend, first off, starting by getting all your clients to pay for their own tools. What should your pricing be? I don't think it should be based on how many people you contact. I don't think that is overly relevant, because me as a business owner, I don't care whether you contact 5,000 or 5 people or 500,000 people. I care about what I get at the end of that activity. I care about the output, not the input. So you want to be charging based off the results that you generate, which allows you to charge higher. So it depends on what results you're actually trying to generate for this prospect or this client. If it is, for example, sales calls, then you want to be looking at your clients' businesses, look at their metrics and understand what the value is to them. Because if you're working with somebody and the value of a sales call, for example, is $200, and then you've got another client and the value of their sales call is $20,000, I'm going to want to charge differently depending on how much value I'm bringing that business. So you got to look at your client's business to determine what you should be charging, and also what outcome you're delivering for your client, whether it's sales calls that you're trying to generate, whether it's just positive replies, like what is it, and how big are the people that you're working with. So maybe if we answer a couple more questions, and then we can circle back with a bit more, if there's a bit more context given with the type of clients that they're working with, then we can answer like the second part of that question.
Yeah, good answer. Well said. Yeah, value-based pricing. They don't care about the quantity; they care about the outcome. And I like, put it on the client's credit card, because that could lead to something really
messy.
Yeah, that could be really messy. How many leads would you test for a campaign? Is there a gold number when you give up on experiment?
Yeah. So this is going to kind of vary depending on your appetite for growth, your budgets, but we really like to we like to contact a minimum of 5,000 people before we have any judgment. Not always possible to do in certain markets, but we want a significantly large enough data size before we can say yay or nay to whether a campaign is successful. So for us, it's 5,000. I would say like the bare minimum, it should be 2,000.
Yeah. 5,000 or 2,000 minimum.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of like a personalized video that's worked really well? That's a good one.
Not myself, but I can definitely get one before the end of.
Or like just like copy of like, hey, somebody used Chirpy and then they basically said this and it led to this, something like that.
So we got like a win in our channel today, so that one is kind of front of mind for me. So it was this lady that was just sending out personalized videos in the first email, doing a review of their free consultation. That was it. A free consultation for people that were running paid ads to help them improve their paid ads. So a bit like an audit, but it's more of like a helpful guide through of what to do, as opposed to you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're doing that wrong. It's very same like deliverable, just different wording. And yeah, she got 5 calls in the calendar. She got 5 calls booked yesterday or maybe today. I can't remember when it came through, but yeah, just offering a free consultation for people that run paid ads.
Nice. Love that. That's pretty remarkable, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty good results. Steven, want to hear more on this, but spending $100,000 on ads, and they've been testing with Instantly and using their AI tools for the last 3 months, but they're struggling. So maybe you have a question, Laurence, for Steven, so that he could maybe add more context to this. Because obviously they have a great product, and if they're having success with ads, then there's no reason that they shouldn't with cold email.
Yeah, so if they're spending that much money on cold email, then they obviously are successful. What I would say is, what my question would be is like, what are you saying in the email? How many emails have you sent? And what do you say in the cold email? How many emails have you sent? And then when you're spending paid ads, what are you trying to generate? Is it a sales call? And if so, if you don't mind sharing, Stephen, how much are you spending on paid ads to generate a sales call?
Yeah. So
the reason I ask those questions is because it's going to allow me to understand the level of like requirement to achieve the desired outcome through paid ads, and then try and give you like the equivalent version of cold email.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, Stephen, if you can answer those questions, we would love to help. What are you seeing best niches? Because you work with a lot of people offering lead gen and like paid ads to people. Where are you seeing people win with that? Is it like local? Is it e-com? Is it plumbers? Is it restaurants?
Yeah, local's always probably the easiest, because there's just so much that you can do for a local business that they can't do themselves. So like if you go to say like a marketing agency, their level of knowledge around digital marketing is pretty high. So like they don't, you basically want to go to a hungry audience. So it depends. If you're just starting out, yeah, I think local businesses is the easiest, safest place to start. It's going to give you a really broad range of different businesses, and it's going to give you a really good insight into which maybe industries that you like working with, and then you can kind of dive a little bit deeper into a chosen industry.
Yeah, that's good. I agree. This is a good one. What is one valuable tip or lesson you'd want everyone here to walk away remembering from today's webinar?
Yeah, good question. Running cold email requires the same level of time and dedication that any other marketing channel requires to succeed. Like we look at Stephen, who mentioned he spends 100K on ads. Like that is going to be a big like amount of focus that somebody is putting into spending that amount of money on paid ads. That is what's required in a different channel to get that channel to work as well. So don't underestimate the volume of cold emails that you have to send, and don't underestimate the like pre-work or like testing and all that good stuff that goes into making cold email successful.
Yeah, fair. Like everything works. It's just a matter of how much you're willing to work it to make it work. Essentially,
everything works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you A/B test case studies? Having a hard time determining what case studies or even testimonials will land best with cold email. Do you think there's relevance with sending the right case study at the right time for the right person, all that sort of stuff?
If you've got an industry specific case study, send that to that industry. But apart from that, I say no is my answer. Like I've never really split test case studies, and I've never really like tried to get deep and like analytical with case studies. I've just like seen the best results, like our like Grand Slam case studies. We try and lead with those unless it's very offer specific.
Yeah, makes sense. So you did mention this earlier, like just kind of spray and pray if you have like a really big list. Is that something that you do or like you do kind of go about, or is it always really specific, really particular?
No, not always. I think there's like, because of the tools that are available and because of the way the industry is like trending towards like this sniper approach, it's like everybody's starting to do it. Spray and pray still does work if you've got the back end metrics in your business. So like if you have a really good sales process, you can afford to be sloppier on the front end with your marketing, because you're going to convert more people. If you've got a killer offer, you can attract a colder audience that maybe doesn't have a high level intent, but you're like able to. So it's kind of like retargeting with paid ads versus going out to a cold audience. Like, you go to these high intent people, and the likelihood is that they're going to convert better. They're more expensive to find, but they will convert better. Or if you've got like a really solid offer that works on a really cold audience, or a really great brand and a really like trusted name, then you can go out to a colder audience with a, you know, really good offer. And so both work. Again, like everything and anything works as long as you have the pieces in place to make it work. Yeah, it's like there's a lot more wastage in spray and pray, but it still does work, and we still do use it sometimes. We don't really use it for our clients that much, just more because they think that like trend has passed, but we still use it for ourselves every now and again, and it works.
Yeah, I like it. Like the cold audience analogy. Like if the audience is large enough, you have a solid offer. Like as long as it's the fundamentals are there, like the message will work. You don't need to be fancy with every single thing.
I think a lot of people forget that cold email is marketing. It's a marketing channel, and the same marketing principles apply across different channels. So like you can do like a spray and pray approach with paid ads if your message is good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And do the same with cold email.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, follow up on Steven. We sell materials that I spend the ad money on. So we sell materials. We also sell ads for the industry in a self-published magazine that I'm trying to monetize. So is the cold email for both of these or just one of them?
I think it's for both of these. So manufacturing's difficult to get working well on cold email from my experience. There's definitely people out there that do it. I haven't had as much success as I would like in this space. So I would say that if you're going to focus your attention, whether it be on selling the materials or selling ads for the magazine, I would focus my attention on the magazine. And the reason I say this is because it's always easier to sell the idea of making more money than it is to sell something else that just costs money. Of course, if you spend money on materials, you can make it back, you know, blah, blah, blah. But like business growth is a relatively easy thing to sell, and selling ad space in a magazine is technically business growth. You've sent a pretty decent amount of cold emails. Now, 18,000 cold emails, what we need to understand is, of those 18,000, is that 18,000 leads or is that 18,000 cold emails? And another thing that we need to understand is, did we send the same message 18,000 times? Did we send two different messages 9,000 times? Like, what's the testing like spread across that volume? And like what I would say, Stephen, is just take the same mentality of paid ads over to cold email. Test like crazy, like split test until you get it right, basically, because it is possible to get it working. Instantly makes it so much easier than it's ever been. But yeah, you've got to like go in with the same level of discipline, because if you've sent the same message to 18,000 people, it's like running the same Facebook creative and just expecting like something to change, you know? So keep testing, and my 2 pennies worth is I would focus on the magazine side over selling materials. I don't really like selling things directly over cold email, just because I haven't had that much success with it.
Yeah, solid. I like it. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. If all marketing channels work with enough effort, what advantage does cold email have? Are you able to set up campaigns that are easy to improve because you can test individual variables? Like, why are you using cold email? Basically, why are you using cold email versus, SEO, website ads, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. So I chunk marketing into like 3 categories. You've got paid, you've got organic, you've got outreach. Paid is instant, but costs a lot of money. Organic is free, but takes a lot of time. Outreach is like that sweet spot in the middle where it's instant, but it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. So that's why I think cold email is the best. And it's not algorithmic to a degree. So it's not like you just Facebook goes and spends a load of money in a different pocket of an audience or something. Like, you can just very strategically test and scale in a way easier fashion than you can on any other platform, because somebody owns the platform. Nobody really owns email apart from, email service providers, but there's, what I'm trying to say. They're just like, it's very rational, and it's very scalable, and it's very cost effective.
Yeah.
That's why I like it, because there's no like Google SEO slaps or Facebook slaps
or algorithm updates, or
exactly.
or needing to test, needing to react and kind of feel like you're handcuffed. Okay, there's a good one in here. Oh, here we go. Are there any metrics on how link tracking / open tracking hurts deliverabilities? How inflated are those KPIs? Do you track those, or are you just focused on replies and opportunities?
Yep. So we don't track open rates. To be perfectly honest, Patrick, we have kind of just like listened to the industry that says don't track open rates. So we kind of didn't. So we've never tracked whether tracking open rates is a good or a bad thing. We don't track open rates. And to be perfectly honest, when you sent the volume of cold emails that we've sent, open rates don't really interest me, because I kind of know what an email like that. I'm going to know within 10% what the open rate's going to be, because we use like one of 4 or 5 different subject lines. Like, we've tested it. We know what it typically gets. What we do is we just track the main desired action that we want our prospects to take. Through experience, we know that if that drops, something's broken. And if it drops, the thing that's broken is deliverability. Because the market isn't going to have like a sentiment shift overnight, and they're no longer going to want whatever we were selling that worked yesterday. Something's broken, and we need to fix it. If you don't have those, like that kind of gut feeling that something's working or not working, I would just focus on replies, opportunities, booked calls, whatever it is that you're focusing on, and keep that like your North Star and your one and only thing, really.
So decide what that North Star is, and then start tracking that, and then come up with the water line, essentially. And if the water line goes down, then something's up. Okay, let's rapid fire, because we got a few questions to go through. I'm going to give you 2 sentences per answer. Okay, that's relatable.
Challenge accepted.
What helps a prospect convert follow through on a CTA after they've opened cold email / click link several times? So maybe you could use like the analogy of like watching a video, or they've clicked on the link and stuff like that. Like, how do we get them over the edge?
Following up across different platforms. Nice. That was less than 2 sentences.
That's okay. That's good. More times, more ways. Not just on an email. Find them on LinkedIn. Specific lead gen softwares you prefer for lists? Follow instantly, do it yourself?
No, there's not. We just test different ones. And that's all you need to do.
Yeah. Product change requires extensive consulting. Ooh, this is a good one. So for Florent, so basically what he's trying to sell, it sounds like, is people aren't really aware of it. Like, what would you do in this situation for a product that maybe like a lot of people don't really know what it is and requires education on?
Got to use video.
Yeah, nice.
You've got to take a short form piece of communication, which is email, and send them to something that is longer form that allows you to educate people.
Yeah, solid. Love that. Any suggestions on the length of copy?
No is like the unhelpful but truth answer. It should just be as long as it needs to be to get your message across and convert. And again, test.
Yeah, nice. Once accounts are warmed up, what should be the max you send per day per email or domain, I guess?
No apologies for the beginner questions.
Yeah. It's not a beginner question at all.
No, not at all. Everybody asks this. So we have 3 inboxes per domain, and we will send 25 emails per inbox per day.
How many was it?
25.
25. Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
Anything coming to mind here? Industries less responsive to emails. You mentioned like selling something in the emails, like the product. Is there anything else that comes to mind on your end?
Yeah, something where a business owner doesn't wake up in the morning concerned about getting whatever it is that you're selling. So like a lot of business owners don't wake up in the morning wanting a new website.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they do want more leads. So how can you position a new website as a way to generate more leads? So you've got to like focus on the thing that keeps them up at night.
Yeah, solid. Don't sell the deliverable, sell the outcome. And then if you're selling something that's more deliverable focused, then try to reframe it.
Yeah.
We already answered this, but we'll just repeat it again. 2,000 to 5,000, 2,000 minimum, 5,000 total.
Yep.
Is there like a method that comes to mind on how you test and improve your campaigns?
Yeah. So it starts with a tracking sheet, and you're going to basically list out all the different copies that you've got. And then you're going to track the results per copy, track how many people you've sent that particular copy. And then when it hits a certain number, you've then got enough significant data size to say, this has outperformed that. That then becomes your control copy, and then you try and beat it.
Cool. I like that. Simple.
Yeah.
One more follow-up from Steven. Let's see if we can help him even further. I'm only focusing on the ad space for a cold email.
Okay.
Perfect. Running 3 separate sequences for each campaign. The best performing was written by instantly AI over my internal team.
Okay. Yep. So 3 separate sequences for each campaign. Like test more, basically. Again, like Stephen, it's kind of like testing 3 Facebook ad creatives. You know, I'm sure you've got more than 3 ad creatives at 100K per month spend. Same is true with cold email.
Yeah.
You'll get into the same mentality.
Love it. I think we'll cut it there. Laurence, so if people have questions, if they want to find you, if they want some more content from you, Laurence, what would be the best place to get in touch with you? How can people get a hold of you, follow you, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, Business with Laurence on Instagram is where you can find me. Any questions, reach out. Happy to help. So yeah, that's where I hang out.
Love it. You are adding value about cold email on social. So, and then Chirpy's is the software for the video stuff. So if you guys want to give that a shot, you can find that as well. Integrates super well with Instantly. Cool, everyone. Thanks for joining, Laurence. Thanks for gracing us with an hour of your time.
No, thank you. It's been fun.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.